I'm 27 and I have an older brother. When we were young, our parents made it very clear that we would be on our own once we grew up. Our protagonist really took that to his heart. He worked his ass off in school, he got good grades, he got into a top college and ended up in a well-paying, stable job. He did everything exactly the way it was supposed to be done and he was proud of it. On the other hand, his brother was the complete opposite. He was the worst in his class, never paid attention, got the worst grades in the class, and got into one of the worst reputed colleges in his country. He never tried doing anything, and any job he got, he left in a month, which obviously made him struggle financially. And even though his parents said that they would not be helping them financially in the future, they kept helping him. Paying his rent and his bills became a monthly expense for them. For a long time, I kept telling myself that this wasn't worth keeping a score. And this was probably how every family was supposed to work, helping the person who actually needs the help. But something happened over the summer, which really changed my thought process. One day, their parents called them to have a conversation about their future plans and that the parents are getting older and someone had to take care of them both legally and financially. In that conversation, the parents slowly revealed that our protagonist was going to be the one taking care of them both legally and financially, whereas the protagonist's brother would be getting most of the inheritance. Like, can you believe that? When asked as to why that was the case, they said the protagonist's brother really needed some help, whereas they needed someone responsible to take care of them. That day, for the first time in my life, I felt true resentment towards my parents. All my life, I worked hard to prove that I can stand on my own without anybody's help, and that had somehow turned into a responsibility of me taking care of everyone. How is that fair? I tried to explain to my parents why I felt hurt, but they kept asking me to be understanding. Like, fuck with that, bro. On the first glance, it feels like that these parents are awful. How can they not at least equally divide what they're given? But when you see the story from the parents' point of view, it kind of makes sense. You see, one of your child is responsible, has a stable job, has a good family, and on the other hand, your other child is not trying to change at all. He's about to go broke. And as a parent, you do not want to see either of them go broke. Whom would you give the money? I think you'd put a little more money on the guy who's failing to give him a head start. There is no right way out of this, but at least they could divide the responsibilities that come with it equally. The next week, his dad called him to fill in some paperwork, and at that point, he was busy. Our protagonist was busy. He told his parents that he was busy, but they started guilt-tripping him into coming and filling the paperwork, at which point, our protagonist got very pissed and asked the parents to call his brother instead if he was going to be getting all the benefits as well. And a few hours later, the protagonist's brother called him to apologize, like it was his mistake. It wasn't. My parents were in the wrong. A few weeks later, I called them again, hoping that this time at least, they would understand why I felt so hurt. But no, guess what? They kept adding more responsibilities to my already filled plate. And they kept using the word independent for me, thinking that that would make me understand why I was supposed to be the one taking care of the whole family. Not a single apology from their side in the whole call. At which point I understood that this tone cannot be moved. Our protagonist felt a bit relieved, but at the same time he felt a bit guilty as well, because whatever they did now does not cancel whatever they did for him in the past. I guess at the end, the biggest problem was the fact that the parents could not understand what their children were going through.